Hello, I'm Larry Davis. Please accept this video as my participation video. You know, I work with a wonderful group of people here at Brownfield Middle School, and I recently sat down and asked them about our vision statement. Our vision statement reads, all students and staff will aspire to be a community of learners. Well, as I said before, I work with a wonderful group of people. And I sat down and asked them these questions about the vision statement. I asked them, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support at the campus vision? I asked them, how are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? I also ask, how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? And the last question I ask is, what processes are used in improving morale, which improves the campus toward the realization of campus vision? As a campus, we are expected to continually grow, not only as a person but also as an educator. Here recently, our district has wanted every single district employee to receive their ESL certification so that we can better serve the students in our district that English is not their first language. Also, we are encouraged to receive our gifted and talented certifications. I've recently received mine, so I am certified in gifted and talented. I'll be receiving my ESL, English as Second Language, certification to be able to help my students. And as a vision, our whole entire campus does revolve around a community of learners. We regularly get together and discuss ways in which we can improve our students' scores. We sit down and we look at data from our students. We just recently got through conducting our campus benchmark assessments. We'll then take that data that we receive from them, and we will see which students need the help and in what areas, and assign those students to special tutorials. Our day starts off at 7 o'clock in the morning. There are many teachers that start coming in at that time, and by 7:15 to 7:30 are already having students in their room. They start tutoring at that time. Tutoring goes out throughout the day. We have it built in to where when students need help, they're able to come in and get help. Our day ends with teachers also having tutorials throughout the evening and up until 5 o'clock. So we believe not only our students should be learners, but also the teachers through our tutorial programs and the different programs that we have implemented. Now, one thing that's interesting about our campus is not only do we have tutorial programs set up, we have a program that is called After School Community in Action, and we call it ACE for short. And ACE is a series of different programs set up that the students are able to participate in and do different activities. We have activities such as video editing, we have karate, we have book clubs, we have chess, we have games, we have video games. So these are programs inspire our kids to be different learners in different area of not just academics, but in everyday life, because we want our students here on campus to acknowledge that there are other things out there and expose them to different aspects of what's out there. So if a kid doesn't have the opportunity to play video games, well, we set that up and we let them play video games. Or if a kid wants to learn some kind of martial art, then we set it up. We also have boxing. Last year, I taught a course in which the students learned a computer programming skill called Scratch, and that went over very successfully. We also worked on more video editing at that time, just to expose the kids to other things that are out there. So that's goals that we have for the kids, to get them interested in learning, and just to be excited about things. And in our morning program, to get the students interested in reading, we set up something that is called a cafe lounge. For those students that are struggling in reading, we try to make it fun for them, so that reading to them is not just something that is monotonous and boring, but we have set up a room that has nothing but beanbag chairs, comfy chairs, where they come in the morning. We fix them a hot cocoa, an espresso, or something like that, and they sit down and they read in the mornings to get their reading points that they need for the 6 weeks, in a hope that they can see that reading can be fun, and reading can become a love that can last them throughout their entire life. And hopefully through this reading cafe, they can learn to enjoy reading. And that's why we had the beanbag set up, and the coffee, and the little donuts that we have, and the cocoa, so the kids just have a place to go. So, you know, when our campus vision said that all students and staff will aspire to be a community of learners, that is exactly what we want to be. We want to be a community of learners, not only with the education of the reading, writing, math, social studies, science, which is extremely important, but we also want them to know that education, there's a whole world of education out there, and education is an ongoing process that will continue throughout their entire life. So, as you watch this little video presentation that I put together, I have spoken with several colleagues who have graciously sat down and give me their thoughts on the 4 questions that I outlined earlier. And what you're about to see next are the responses to those questions. I hope that you enjoy this video. Thank you for watching. I want to thank Ms. Swain from Brownfield Middle School, who is our librarian and also teaches math, for joining me today. I'd like to start off by asking, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I want to start with the contributions school-wide. So one thing that has really impacted our discipline is PBIS, and that's a positive behavior intervention system where students are rewarded for their positive behavior. And they're rewarded nicely with the pizza party. So that's celebrated, and the students' names are announced, and their teachers who have nominated them join in the celebration, and the teachers are also invited for pizza. So that's been a really positive thing that I think has changed the climate of our school and made us more positive. In the library specifically, we celebrate reading with some reward type programs to encourage students to read. One of those is Lone Star Readers, which is a program statewide, and on our campus we encourage kids to read those books and then have a Lone Star party the second semester. So we do some things as far as campus vision to improve reading, to improve behavior, which of course has a direct correlation to improve academics.
And I've seen that the PBIS is a big influence on the kids, because some of them look forward to being rewarded and getting to play that extra hour and get to do video games, and they always enjoy the pizza and the soft drinks. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
As I just mentioned, the students, of course, have their name announced over the speaker system, which is important at this age. They enjoy the recognition. It's exciting to have your name called out when you're sitting in class among your peers, and that's very positive. As far as community, periodically our administrators write a feature article that's put in the Brownfield News, and that communicates what's going on our campus. And I know recently Mr. Waldrop, our principal, talked about some of the things that are done as a reward type system, and that was in the Brownfield News. So that would be communicated to the community through our local newspaper. As far as staff and students, of course, it's mainly through the intercom system.
I don't know any students that don't like to have their picture in the newspaper, and also on our local website too. When they do things, we also include that too, is on the local website. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote campus vision?
Well, I'm excited about some changes that we've made in curriculum. Of course, since I'm involved in math, I really think one of the most important innovative things we've done is to double block our math classes. That has had such a tremendous effect on teachers and students. There's time to get those questions asked, there's time to focus more on computations, their skills, and it makes all the difference with these new standards. It's just really effective to have 2 periods of math instead of 1. You're so rushed when you have 45 minutes, you don't have time to answer and troubleshoot the kids' questions. Now we do, and I know other districts that have made that commitment, and we're really seeing the benefit of innovative thinking. We had a new curriculum director who came in and said this needs to happen, and it has really made a difference, especially with those new standards that are so much more difficult and more is expected of the student and also of the teacher. Another thing we've done in 8th grade, we've added an English class that we didn't have before. Besides just reading, they're now doing writing as 8th graders. In the past, that was an elective period in that slot. And we're going to send better students to high school more prepared for rigorous standards at the high school level. Kids have to read and write every day as much as possible to be prepared for that high school level. So I'm really pleased with the implementation of an English class at the 8th grade level. Another thing that's been added is Spanish at the 8th grade level. And we all know that the earlier you learn a language, the easier it is for you. So this is a good thing rather than waiting till you're in high school. So I think the addition of the Spanish in the 8th grade curriculum has also been a really big plus. Now, failures, we try a lot of things to get our students to complete assignments. Sometimes we've tried something, it hasn't worked, and we try something else. Right now, we have a system where parents are texted immediately when their child hasn't turned in an assignment, and we're working through when do we get those kids in to make assignments. So, sometimes we fail when we try to set a certain time, but then we try something else. So that's one thing about the middle school level. If it doesn't work one way, we can try it another way. Because usually we can figure out a way in our schedule to make those changes.
And I know that texting system is automatically working, because I was just in another teacher's classroom, and his percentage of students has gone down to one student in the entire class with missing work. And that was a big improvement.
That's exciting because grades are due Friday. And in the past, that same teacher might have had 10 to 12 assignments not finished.
And that is true. Okay, last question. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus forward in the realization of the campus vision?
I think our principals are very mindful of the importance of morale, and we do some things as a staff that I think increase morale. One of those is a Christmas party. We always celebrate Christmas as a faculty, and during the week of Christmas, the administrators gave just small gifts each day, which was, very pleasant to be appreciated. And, it might have been a candy bar, a Coke, but those things, boost your spirits when you're at the end of a semester and tired. We have birthday celebration every month, and we are allowed, to visit more during that time and just fellowship together as a faculty. In the spring, the student council will have Teacher Appreciation Week, and the students will bring usually some kind of treat to share with the faculty, and then the administration will also give some small gift each day or some type of food item to celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week. So throughout the year, there's just small things that are given, but it can help in a big way.
One thing I noticed that an administrator's done for me is I've walked in to do a morning duty, and they've been standing there and they have said, "This is your time off, you go have fun with the staff, and I will take your duty for today." And that boosted my morale, knowing that they were watching out for us on that day. I want to thank you very much for
you're
sitting
welcome.
down.
Enjoyed it.
And
Enjoyed it.
You have with David Chastain,
All
who
right,
teaches
thank
American
you.
history and Texas history for Brownsville Middle School. And he's graciously to sit down and answer some questions with me. Mr. Chastain, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I think that our administration, particularly our principals here, do a real good job of recognizing us, particularly during our staff meetings. They recognize those teachers who are going out of their way to try to implement new ideas and new strategies to help achieve our campus goal of excellence. And I think they're also, our best teachers are being recognized by being named as Teachers of the Month. We recently, of course, had one of our middle school math teachers recognized as Teacher of the Month. I think that really goes out of their way to recognize us when we do a good job.
I agree with you with that. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and the community?
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I've already said. The staff, we learn about each other's accomplishments through our staff meetings and just through our team meetings, and also just through our regular interactions with other teachers. That's reinforced at our staff meetings. And sorry, I'm rambling a bit. You mind if I look at your question? And of course, the community becomes aware. We have a real good parent outreach, I think, here at the middle school. Let the parents know when the teachers are doing a good job and when the children are doing a good job. And of course, our administrators write a regular column for the local newspaper, which they talk about the accomplishments of our schools and things that we're doing.
Teachers, if you have Casey Gonzalez, will you please call the office?
School environment.
Thank you.
We're not going to stop.
And of course, as I said, the recognition by the school board of our very best teachers, I think, is very effective. The community finds out about that.
One thing that I've noticed is that we're encouraged to contact parents even when our students do something good in the class, and to always try to keep a positive foot forward. So at times when I see parents, I congratulate on what their children are doing in class, and not just always harping on the bad stuff. And I think some of the community members appreciate that.
Absolutely. When I see a parent at the grocery store, I will tell them how well their child is doing in class and congratulate them for what their kids are doing. So I think that the outreach goes further than just the formal, but it also reaches into the informal.
True, true. How does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, I suppose that we can talk about our new implementation of this new ICU database. I think that's kind of a reach out there. It's new thinking. It's an automated way to reach parents. It's a way to get the message when a student is struggling directly there. It's easier for the teacher because it doesn't take repeated attempts to make phone calls or emails. It is a direct contact either by email or by text. Now, I'm not sure whether that's actually going to increase the parental participation. I personally think it will, but I mean, we're kind of putting it out there. We're going to see if it works, and if it doesn't work, well, we'll back up and try something else. I don't think our administration and I don't think our teachers are afraid to try new things, and when they fail, as sometimes they will, to back up, to evaluate why they didn't work, and then try something different.
We have this motto, failure is not an option for the kids, so I suppose that option can also be applied to the staff. That,
You know, I mean, that's a good motto, and I'm one that teaches the kids that too. We don't fail. We just keep trying until we get it done right. I think as we encourage our kids to continue to try and to try different ways to solve the same issues, the same problem, I really think that's ingrained in most of our teachers. I see it all the time. I taught a lesson the other day, I think you were in here for it, that just didn't work. I mean, it just didn't work. And with all the high hopes, and I went back and adjusted it, but even with the adjustment, I couldn't get it to work in class. So it's just not something I'm going to do again without some major revisions. So, you know, I think all of our teachers and our administration here in the middle school is willing to back up when something doesn't work right or doesn't give them the results that they want, to back up and look at it again and try something different.
okay, last question. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus forward towards the realization of the campus vision?
Campus morale has always been a big thing to me because it can go up and down, and even the smallest things sometimes can influence it. I think just the idea that we know our principals are behind us, I get a lot of feedback from my principals, a lot of positive feedback. It's not just based on what we need to improve, but when we do something that does work or is something that is working, get immediate feedback from them about that. I think we have a really good camaraderie amongst the staff here. I love our monthly little birthday lunches. Mrs. Swain that coordinates that. It's great stuff. It's always a good excuse to eat. I think we're very supportive of each other as teachers and as parents and just as employees. And, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a fellow teacher, you know, walk away when somebody else needed help. So just, I think it's something that we do. We work together.
I think we do have a good staff that supports each other. Well, Ms. Chastain, I want to thank you for visiting with me on this very busy afternoon.
You're very welcome.
And okay, I'm currently visiting with Mr. Vernon Carey. He is the high school choir and middle school teacher, like I said, for choir. So, Mr. Carey, could you please tell me, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? I think you have a unique position because you could tell some things maybe from the high school point of view and from the middle school point of view, so you can use whatever point of view that you wish to talk about.
Well, I'm a little more familiar with the high school since that's basically where I'm stationed. When, you know, in faculty meetings, he recognizes teachers who have done things, put things on their board. He'll send out pictures on the web page of lesson plans that people have on the board. So he really acknowledges that very much whenever he's able to and when it's possible for him to do that.
Very good, thank you. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Again, posting the pictures of things that have happened on the school webpage, which for the community and staff and even the students and their parents to see. Also, he will recognize teachers in assemblies and various other ways that he can do that.
Oh, very good. And how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote campus vision?
Well, I think they take everything into consideration. Test scores, they've implemented new remedial type courses to get students able to pass the test courses. They've established, we have the ACE program that we use. They've accelerated studies for students. We have a flex schedule at the end of the year for those who didn't pass the benchmarks and the STAR testing, and they will continue for extra 2 weeks and then go directly into summer school. So that has been implemented last year, and it seemed to be quite effective.
Very good. And as everyone knows that watches this, we're in a school environment, so currently we're in between classes, so if you hear noises, that's kids coming in and out, and just a normal school day, so just please excuse that as they come in and out. That's just a normal school environment that we work in. I think you just heard the bell ring. Last question before Mr. Carey has to begin his classes. What processes are used in improving morale, which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
We do very social things like at Christmas time, we'll have a Christmas party. We have potlucks. We have various activities that the faculty and staff will do together, either in faculty meetings, after faculty meetings, after school, before school, or even during school.
Well, Mr. Carey, I want to thank you for taking time in between classes to visit with me, and it's time for us to both get to work, so I want to thank you very much for visiting with me. I'm here this afternoon visiting with Ms. Melody Donathan. She teaches the ELA here in Brownfield. She's currently teaching with the 6th grade and the 7th grade in reading. And so I appreciate you being able to sit with me this afternoon.
No problem.
Ms. Donathan, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I see in several different aspects. One of the aspects I see for our staff is the way that our district, and I don't know that this is so much as a campus level, but it is at a district level, and it happens for us twice a year during an academic school year. And we recognize teachers and students. It's a single teacher and a single student who is exemplary in just many, many areas here on our campus. And that is something that for the staff is voted on by their peers, and for the student it is voted on by the different teachers here on our campus. I certainly know personally when I go to make that selection, I am looking for a professional who goes above and beyond to make learning a lifelong endeavor for our students. And not only do they just teach what happens on a daily basis within their subject, but they also teach skills for our students to carry in their lives as they just continue to strive to be lifelong learners, not just academically, but lifelong learners in many different ways.
And what I think that's good is that when these students and teachers celebrate it, it's put in our local newspaper. So there's pictures in the newspaper. Many times it's announced on our local radio station. We have a program called Town Talk in which they acknowledge that. So there is great pride in all the schools in which is occurs, not only at the middle school here, but in all the campuses across Brownfield.
That's true, and they're also recognized at the school board, and that particular night that the school board meets, they that particular night that the school board meets, they only recognize those from our campus, and so the spotlight shines on Brownfield Middle School for that particular month within our district. So that's just one of the aspects that I see. There are several other areas, and maybe they'll come up in your other questions where I see it's recognized.
Okay, as we continue, how many, let me rephrase that. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and the community?
Well, I think we touched on this a little bit with that last question in the way that when we have our faculty member and our student of the month, they are recognized with the media here in Brownfield. And granted, our media is not huge. We're not a large metropolis or not a large metropolitan area, but they still take great effort here with our local media, which is a local radio talk show, and then we also have a newspaper that's published twice a week. And they make sure that they cover when we have events and when we have recognition for our staff and our students in all areas. Then also too, they recognize our staff members and our students at our district board meeting. They are recognized when we do our announcements, and our principals, both whomever it is that's making the announcement that day, are both very good to recognize the students that have achieved whatever it is, whether it's academically, whether it's on the playing field. And then we also do something that happens very regularly for us. We have what we call pod tickets, where we are trying to instill in our students an attitude that we try to have that prevails throughout our entire campus of showing pride, which is perseverance, responsibility, integrity, discipline, and then the expectations that they should have for themselves in the classroom, and then the expectation that they should have in other people and behavior, and then what they should expect their teachers to be doing for them. And when we have our pride tickets, the students are selected for showing that in any way. We have a bingo board. The students get to draw a number. And if they are on the road that happens to hit a bingo, then they get to be a part of a lunchtime where they get to eat pizza and spend a little bit of extra time playing some really fun video games. One of the things that I think is really special about this time is that our students get to see our principals in a different light because they join the students for lunch every time this happens. And then we also have a program here in our district where we have two gentlemen who run what's known as our STAR program, which is basically just another level of intervention for discipline. Once our campus has done all that they can do, sometimes we have students who need another level of discipline. And these two young men are here nearly every single time that we have a pride party. And I know the pizza is a real enticing thing for them to come and join us for that. But I think it gives our students an opportunity to meet these two young men. They are former military and just really upstanding young men that truly exemplify what we call pride, and our students have an opportunity to see that in people that are outside of our campus. And so that's one of the ways that we try to show that vision that we have of being lifelong learners, is for our students to see this and be recognized.
That is true. And I know our students, they love it. I know that when my students are nominated, they're extremely excited to be nominated. Whether they win or not, they're always excited to be nominated.
Well, and you know something that I think it offers for our students is it recognizes them when they make good choices. And someone is watching. That way they always know someone is watching. Someone is looking for the good things in, not always the bad. And then it also helps them to recognize that even though they may have been chosen, still doesn't always make them that top winner. So it's that attitude that we walk away from knowing we have done something good, but we don't always get that top reward for having done something good. And so I think that helps to kind of begin to change that mindset that we have so many in our younger generations that are coming up that think they should always win something, they should always get the prize. And sometimes just doing the right thing is what the prize should be.
Another topic that I would like to get your input on is how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, our campus vision is that we are there to create a community of learners, and even to take it further, we want lifelong learning to be there. I think one of the things that we do very effectively as a campus is that we strive to help our students recognize when they haven't done well on a unit test or even a particular skill that is there that is being taught in the classroom, and when they have had difficulty with that skill, then we do what we call AI, which is just an intervention program that is offered to our students, and it is there before school and after school. Something that I have begun doing along with our assistant principal and our 6th grade reading teacher, 7th grade reading teacher, so we're covering our 6th and 7th grade students, is we are doing what's called reading club in the afternoons after school. And we look at that and base it on our students who are really struggling and maybe several grade levels below where we want them to be at this point as 6th or 7th graders. We bring them in and have them read for us. We sometimes will have them read to us, not so often, but more it is just for them to read and to be encouraged and be in a positive environment. We also do what's called a reading cafe in the morning, and Mr. Estrada, our assistant principal, is the one who supervises that, and he does that with our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and they come in at 7:30 in the morning, and we offer a warm drink for them, a cappuccino or a hot cocoa, and they are allowed to come in, and we have some bean bags in a room where they come in and just sit and read and kind of start their day in a quiet and positive way. I have certainly seen an increase in our students' reading here on our campus. We do use the Accelerated Reader program, and by doing that, we're able to track where our students are on grade level as they do diagnostic testing 3 times a year. But then also, too, we can look at the number of tests that our students take, and I have seen a significant upswing in the number of tests our students are taking and in the positive results we're having from that. That's what I'm so excited about. We do reward our students. We give them a goal each 6 weeks, and more that goal is to encourage them and just to get them to recognize that they can achieve that goal. And then we also offer very small prizes, little incentives for them if they've met their goal. It was kind of neat at the end of the 3rd 6 weeks. We had a very large majority of our students who did meet their goal for the 3rd 6 weeks. And so we had cupcakes and a bottle of water for them. And, you know, in the broad spectrum, that's not really a big thing, but it was enough that our students appreciated what we had done. And our overall goal is just to get our kids reading. Reading is what makes our students successful learners for the future.
One thing that I know the kids look forward to that learn is you take the kids on something called a junk food journey at the end of the year. So
We do.
would you please explain what a junk food journey is?
We have done that now for probably about 7 or 8 years. One of the things that is a positive when you're in a small community is that you have businesses that are usually close to your school, and we have a convenience store that's only about 4 blocks from our school, and we are allowed to, at the end of the school year, for any student who has met their AR goal each 6 weeks for the entire school year, we then take those students and we walk them over during our lunchtime period, and they get to miss the class period that comes with our lunch. So we always have like a class period and a lunch going at the same time. So anyway, the kids actually get to miss a class. They get to miss their 5th period class. We give them about $3 that comes out of some money that is just accumulated there in our library. It typically is library funds, that kind of thing. And we take and they walk over. We get a sack lunch for them out of the cafeteria. They get their $3. They're welcome to bring more money if they would like. And we just go over and they can buy junk food. And again, it's not something that's just huge, but it's something that is fun, it's different, and for the students, they do strive for that. I have several of them that we try to keep them updated on where they stand so that they know that they're working towards that, and, you know, don't lose what you've been working on all year long, so.
Well, what I specifically like about this program is that it's not just for your A honor roll students.
No.
That there could be students that maybe struggle in other classes, but maybe their love is reading, and so they get to participate, or they may not get an award in any other area, but they do
Right.
get to be awarded in this area, and it always makes them happy.
Well, and that is true, and our goals are based on our students' readability level independently, and so the amount of points that one student has cannot be compared to that of another student because they will have different reading levels. And so it's attainable for any student. It's not something that is out of reach for any of our students. Something else that we also do at the very end of the year is over the entire school year, we keep track of our students and how much they do read. And we take our top 10 readers, and they get to go with our principal and our librarian, and they get to go to Barnes & Noble, and they are given, I believe it's about a $20 gift card, and their lunch is bought for them, and they get to spend their gift card any way they want to. And this is based on the percentage of their goal that they meet. So if I have a student whose goal is 6 points, and they meet their goal every time, and they go above, and let's say they have 500% of their goal within 6 weeks, then we add that all together for each 6 weeks, and it's the student with the highest percentage of their goal met throughout the entire year. And so that can be students who read way above grade level, and that can be our students who even read below grade level, who do enjoy reading, and they strive for that. And having that $20 for those kids gives them the opportunity to buy some summer reading.
Yes.
That they'll definitely come back having read that when school starts in the fall.
Yes.
So, it's a fun program.
Okay, for my final question, what processes are used in improving morale which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
I've talked a whole lot about our students and the things that are done for our students. I did mention that we do have a faculty member twice a year who is recognized by our board. But here on our campus, I think that one of the things that is so special about Bromfield Middle School is the connection that we as a staff have with each other and the morale that comes with that closeness that we have, and the fact that we have 2 administrators who are Christian men who never hesitate to let that be what shines in who they are. We begin our staff meetings with prayer. We know that if there is a need, that emails will go out, and it's also a situation where you know if there is something that you need for your family, any one person can be asked on the campus and they will do for you. And that to me is something that truly does help to build on morale as a campus here. I've been here for 20 years, and I will honestly tell you that the people I work with is the reason that I come back year after year to Brownfield. We do simple things like birthday recognition every month. And it's not that you want your birthday to be recognized, it's just the opportunity to have something a little bit different at lunch once a month. As teachers, we only get that 30 minutes, and cafeteria food can get old after a while, or bringing your lunch from home every day. And so knowing that there might be something special on that last Friday of the month is always a real bonus for us. But it's also, too, that there's a little card that's stuck on your box that says happy birthday. And, you know, it just makes you think, you know what, somebody really does care. I was trying to think what else for the teachers is a morale. I know that we are in a very tight situation financially within our district, and yet our principals both strive to make sure that there are things that are here for teachers. As simple as sending out an email and we submit our favorite Sonic soft drink, and someone shows up at our door with our Sonic soft drink on a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock. And it's simple things like that that let you know you're appreciated. It's not what you expect, but it is something that you do appreciate. And it's also something that I try to instill in my students or try to convey to them, that there are simple little things. That's where our pride tickets come in. When someone does something that's unexpected, to give them that pride ticket, a student. Or if they just do simple things. I have one young man, second period, who will stay behind nearly every day and go around and push all the chairs in. And I tell him every day how much I appreciate that. So I just think that as a campus, we just really do strive to appreciate each other. And that helps to build that morale, and that creates that environment where you want to be involved in creating that lifelong learning community that we have here at Brownfield. We genuinely care about each other here at the middle school, and we genuinely care about our students, and we strive to make them better because we know that what they take with them goes with them when they go to high school, and we know how tough it is at high school. It's a big adjustment for our sixth graders coming to middle school, so we know how hard it's going to be for them as freshmen. And we just feel every single member of this faculty and our paras as well, and of course our administrators, we just recognize that it takes all of us to accomplish this.
Well, I want to thank you once again for sitting down and visiting with me
You're
this
welcome.
afternoon. So I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you for asking me. I was honored. You're welcome.
This afternoon, I'm meeting with Miss Dorma Click. She teaches ELA, and right now she's teaching the 8th grade reading and English. And so I want to thank you for sitting down this afternoon and visiting with me.
Sure.
So, first question, how does the campus acknowledge, recognize, and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
Okay, first of all, the campus vision is that all students and staff will aspire to be a community of learners.
Yes.
So first I want to talk about the students and how we want the students to aspire to continue to be learners and how we do that within the ELAR department. The first thing I'd like to talk about is in our AR program, in our reading classes in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, in the AR program that we do encourage the students to read each 6 weeks and meet their goals. And we have some reward systems set up for that to encourage them to do that and to continue to work on their reading skills and also learn about different subjects and whatever books they choose to read. So one of those celebrations that we do for those kids that meet their AR goals is simply giving them a reward each 6 weeks. So that can vary from just a treat like a pickle and a lollipop, or we've done coupons before to school dances where they can spend it at the concession stand. So we have rewards for those students who meet their AR goals each 6 weeks. Now at the end of the year, for those students who have met their AR goal every 6 weeks of the year, we do something called Junk Food Journey. And that is where during lunchtime, and sometimes they miss a little bit of class, they are able to walk with us over to the Strops convenience store, and we give them a couple of dollars to go in and buy junk food. And then of course we walk back over. So it's just something fun that they look forward to at the end of the year. Now our top 10 earners of AR points for the whole year through each grade level will get to take a trip to Barnes & Nobles with the librarian at the end of the year. So we try to really focus in the ELA department on their reading skills and improving that through independent reading through the AR program.
Well, I know the kids really have fun in those areas. All right, second question. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Okay. Well, again, as far as the students within our own department and the ELA department, they are all, of course, communicated their AR goal. We remind them of when the goals are due and communicate their progress throughout the 6 weeks.
Okay, question number 2. How are these contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community?
Any achievements or contributions that either staff or students have made are communicated to all staff and students and their parents even through emails. The administrator's office also uses the phone calls, the phone call out. Many things are posted in the hallway. We also use social media such as Facebook. Town Talk is a communicative medium here in town that many things are posted on regarding successes that the school has. A lot of word of mouth too, just people telling each other the great things that are happening at BMS and just bragging on our kids and bragging on our staff out in the community.
All right, and our third question, how does the campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision?
Well, we have many programs here at the middle school that I think are innovative and are progressive ideas to try to help our students as well as our staff. We encourage all students to participate in academic UIL activities, and we meet with them on a daily basis to practice. This year we also have begun a reading club for some of the reluctant readers to try to help get them interested in reading, and so they come a couple of times a week to read. The principals will actually be taking some of those readers over to the elementary school to have them read to the younger kids to try to build their confidence. We also have the Pride Ticket program, where if the students are doing well in the classroom, then we give them a Pride Ticket that they take to the office, and they get to go into a drawing for a type of pizza party. So that helps to build the morale of the students as well as the morale of, you know, the teachers looking for good things that all students are doing.
Excellent. Okay, last question. What processes are used in improving morale which moves the campus toward the realization of the campus vision?
There are quite a few morale boosters that I think that our current administration uses here at our campus level and even within the district level. One thing that they do offer at times is gene passes to teachers if they've had, like recently in February, if you've had good attendance as a teacher, then you were able to wear jeans during the week of benchmarking. In the past, the superintendent has also brought us free car wash tokens. During watermelon season, he would bring watermelons. We have had Christmas bonuses in the past.
All those, I know all those help boost morale. And I can say we work for a wonderful school district to where we're actually one big family. And so
That's true.
it is like one big family here.
It is. I
And,
certainly agree.
And I think we'd all realize that and recognize it. Well, Ms. Click, I want to thank you for sitting down this afternoon and visiting with us.
You're very welcome.
And thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video. As you can see, I had many teachers want to participate in this. I work with a wonderful group of people, and I hope that their personalities come through this video and through these little bit of snippets that you got to see what these people are actually like and get to know them. Again, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.